I did not realize what was happening at first because nothing felt dramatic. There was no broken lock, no missing valuables, no signs of a struggle. Just water. I came home from work one evening and noticed the bathroom mirror was fogged, just slightly, like the room had been warm recently. I stood there longer than I needed to, staring at my own reflection as it slowly cleared. I live alone. I had left that morning in a rush, already late, and I clearly remembered brushing my teeth with the bathroom door open. The mirror had been dry then. I convinced myself the humidity was trapped air, maybe from the building's old pipes. I opened a window and went on with my evening. That should have been the end of it. 2 days later, my towel was damp. Not wet like it had just been used, but not dry either. The kind of dampness that happens when fabric never fully airs out. I picked it up and pressed it between my hands. There was warmth in it. That was the moment a quiet thought formed, one I immediately pushed away. Someone else had used it. I checked the shower. The drain still had a few strands of hair stuck to the side. They were not mine. Mine is dark and coarse. These were lighter, finer. I stared at them longer than I want to admit, trying to invent an explanation that did not make my skin crawl. Maybe a previous tenant. Maybe I had missed them earlier. I rinsed them away and told myself I was being ridiculous. That night, I slept badly. Not because of fear, because my brain would not shut off. Every small sound felt noticeable. The refrigerator clicking on, pipes ticking behind the walls, footsteps in the hallway outside my apartment. I checked the lock twice before going to bed. The next evening, it happened again. I came home later than usual and smelled something clean the moment I opened the door. Not strong, not obvious, just soap. The same soap I use, but faint, like it had been washed down the drain recently. The bathroom fan was off, the light was off. Everything looked normal. Except my shampoo bottle. It was turned the opposite direction. I know this sounds minor, but I always place it label facing outward. I do not remember when that habit started, but I've done it for years. The bottle was facing the wall now, pushed slightly farther back than usual. I stood there, frozen in place, staring at it. This time, I did not talk myself out of it. Someone had been in my apartment. I checked every room slowly. Bedroom, closet, kitchen, under the bed, behind the shower curtain. Nothing. The door was still locked. The deadbolt was engaged. That night, I placed a small piece of folded paper between the door and the frame. Something simple, something I would notice if the door opened. I barely slept. The paper was on the floor in the morning. Not crumpled, not kicked, just resting there like it had fallen naturally. I stood in the hallway staring at it, my work bag slipping off my shoulder, heart pounding in my ears. I did not call anyone. I did not tell anyone. I locked the door again and left. At work, I checked my phone constantly, half expecting some alert or message, even though I had no cameras and no alarms. When I came home that night, the paper was back in place, folded, tucked neatly where I had left it the night before. That meant whoever had entered knew I was testing the door, and they wanted me to think nothing had happened. That was when fear truly settled in. I stopped using the shower. I did not want to disturb anything. I wanted proof. I wanted certainty. I began taking photos of the bathroom before leaving for work each morning. The position of the towels, the level of the shampoo, the direction of the soap bar. 3 days later, the soap was smaller. Not by much, just enough that I noticed immediately. I checked my photos, compared them side by side. Someone had used it. That evening, I sat on my bed with the lights off, listening. Hours passed. Nothing happened. No sounds, no movement. Around 2 in the morning, I heard water. At first, I thought it was my imagination. Then, I recognized the sound clearly. The low rush of water pressure shifting, pipes adjusting. The shower. I did not move. I did not breathe. I listened as the sound continued for nearly 10 minutes, then stopped. I waited another 20 minutes before standing up. The bathroom was empty. The mirror was fogged. The towel was damp, and the drain had fresh hair in it. I locked myself in my bedroom and did not sleep at all. The next day, I called my landlord. I did not explain everything. I told him I thought someone might have a spare key. He laughed it off at first, then agreed to change the locks the following week. That week felt endless. I started noticing other things. Food missing in small amounts. A chair moved slightly closer to the bathroom. My laundry detergent used, but my washing machine untouched. Someone wasn't just visiting. Someone was living around me. I bought a cheap motion camera and hid it on a shelf facing the bathroom door. I did not tell anyone. I did not want to hear someone tell me I was overreacting. The first night, nothing. The second night, the camera recorded movement. I watched the footage sitting on my bed, heart hammering, as a shadow crossed the hallway. The person never fully entered the camera's view. They stayed just outside the camera's view, reaching in occasionally. A hand appeared, adjusting the towel. A shoulder, the side of a head. They knew exactly where the camera could see. On the third night, they made a mistake. The footage showed them stepping fully into view. It was a man, barefoot, shirtless, calm. He looked comfortable. He walked into my bathroom like it belonged to him. I watched him turn on the shower. I watched him step inside. I watched steam fill the room as he stood there, humming softly. I called the police. They arrived within minutes, but by the time they searched the apartment, he was gone. They found something else instead. A small space behind the bathroom wall, a maintenance gap, wide enough for someone to crawl through. It connected to the apartment next to mine. The apartment next to mine was empty. Had been empty for months. Inside the wall space, they found his things. Clothes, food wrappers, a toothbrush, a second towel. He had been there the whole time, listening, watching, waiting. I moved out 2 days later. I still can't stand the sound of running water, and I never shower without locking the door.